Alright people, another update. So this is after, it's really bumpy. Anyway, so I just spent 4 weeks in training. The last 2 weeks were back to back just because regional, and we usually go home for the weekends, but I guess my trainer was able to get us out without a break. So typically the training is about 5 weeks. He called and said that I'm ready for my upgrade, so my training was 4 weeks, and so yeah, that's where we're at. Today is Friday. Might get a car wash here if I'm lucky. No. Nope, I'm not lucky. The school bus is wanting to turn. Or what the hell? I don't know what he's doing. It's really confusing. Nope, no car wash for me. Dang. I was really hoping for it. My car is dirty. It's been sitting at the terminal over here in Spokane for 2 weeks, so it's dirty. The only part that I cleaned was the windshield, because you know that's the part that I fucking see it out of. Anyway, so yeah, 4 weeks was my training, and you know, so I go on my upgrade. I'm supposed to be calling. So yeah, today's Friday, so I get Friday, well, end of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then Monday morning, mid-Monday, I'm gonna call the terminal and talk to a guy there, and he's supposed to have another driver come pick me up along the way of his route back to the yard. So, and then they're gonna get me set up with a hotel room until Thursday, I believe, if I heard that right. And then, so Monday, I'm gonna sit, you know, and then Tuesday, I have to be there at the yard early in the morning. Then that's when my upgrade begins, right? So I don't know what to expect. You know, I'm okay with the Qualcomm. You know, I'm a little fuzzy with it, but you know, I'm okay with it. You know, the paperwork stuff is pretty simple. Talk to the shippers is pretty simple. Receivers simple. It's just all those things are pretty simple. It's just putting them all together, so you're not a nervous person about it. So I did a lot of driving. I think last week I did like 25 or 2,900 miles just by myself. You know, I mean, not too shabby. I am in the Northwest, so I get to hit like every fucking grade. Yeah, it's been pretty intense. You know, you got 65,000 pounds on the back, and you know, it's gotten to a point where, you know, I'm not gonna say that I could fall asleep, but you know, it's gotten boring. You know, I'm sitting there doing my grades, and I know if you go down, or you know, if you go up, you're going down. So you know, I expect that. Yesterday I was in Pendleton last night, and I went down to mean grade, and I think I dropped down like 3 or 4 gears. I think by the time all was said and done, you know, I was probably creeping at like 20-ish miles per hour. I mean, it was pretty dang slow, and it said it was only a 6% grade, but I think towards the end it gets a little different. There's some turns and shit involved, you know, so I mean that kind of slowed me up a little bit. But midway I was around 40. You know, I started off at 50, 40, and then by the time I got to the bottom, you know, I was in the 20s anyway. So that's cool. But yeah, I haven't done too bad, honestly. I haven't hit anything. I've done quite a few deliveries myself. My trainer basically just slept most of the day, and yeah, so regional, Northwest Regional. So what I'm doing is flatbed heavy haul. So you know, we have the tag axle. So essentially we have 8 axles, right? So we have the steers, that's 1. We have the drives, that's 2. We have the 3 axles on the trailer, 3, right? And then we have the tag axle on the back of the trailer, okay? And then we have the drop axle. So that's 8 axles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Effectively, you know, we could haul 105,000 pounds collectively. We are not stuck to that 80,000 gross weight. We can legitimately haul 105,000 pounds. It's not a bad deal. So far in the past 4 weeks, I've done like Wyoming, Utah a couple of times, Idaho a lot. Yeah, a lot of grades, a lot of back and forth. Fuck me. We do a lot of West Coast, you know, because it's based in Spokane, so I have been leaving from Spokane, so I'm gonna say West Coast. Yes, so you have like Snoqualmie Pass, which actually isn't too bad. The first time I went down that motherfucker, oh my god, that was at night too. That was like my second day on training, right? So he's like, okay, we're gonna do this, and I'm like, oh, okay. Mountain driving, I mean, that shit doesn't usually happen until like week 3 or 4. I mean, and I was doing it second day. That was stressful, but I got through it. Anyway, so yeah, last couple of weeks have been pretty crazy. We deliver out in the middle of fucking nowhere sometimes. Yesterday we had one that was out in the middle of nowhere. She didn't even have an address, right? So we got to the address that was on the Qualcomm. We get there and that business isn't there. I think it was like Sawtooth Rock or something like that is what we were looking for, but that didn't exist. You know, we had something else. They basically just did like cattle feed and seed and shit like that. That didn't fit with what we had going on. So you know, anyway, we get on the phone with the guy, and basically, you know, he has us, you know, pinpoint on the GPS, you know, the city center, right? And then he's like, okay, now go through the stop sign, now go through that one, don't turn down any of them. You get to the end of the road, right? There's gonna be a yield sign, then you take a right, and then boom, there it is. Literally, it's like right through the city, and it's at the very end of the city, and there it was. Anyway, these rocks, they're sharp as fuck, and they're like in these wooden bins, and they're sticking straight up, and you know, it's flatbed, so you have to strap it down or something, you know. So I mean, me and the trainer kind of looking at each other like, what the fuck do we do with this, you know? So, you know, we came with the plan of doing like X, you know, putting our straps at an X, you know, 2 per each, and then, you know, using a couple of V-boards to make sure none of those straps break. You know, so once I started pulling out of there, you know, I went slow, around 30 miles an hour, and then I started picking up speed. You know, I figure, well, you know, nobody lives on this fucking road anyway, so I mean, if they're all gonna snap and break and fall and all sorts of stupid shit, then I'd rather have it happen here than me doing 60, you know, or whatever down the highway or going up a grade, right? So I mean, eventually, you know, I got up to 60, you know, and then I did my load checks, and yeah, everything was fine. Got to the receiver, and you know, it was some guy out in the middle of nowhere too. It was for his patio. He was building a big patio. He really wanted me to know that it was for a big patio, and I said, oh well, you know, congrats, whatever, that's cool. I mean, do you, bro. So that's my update. Yes, so Monday, yeah, so Tuesday is my orientation, or not my orientation, what the fuck am I thinking? My upgrade. And then if all goes well, like I said, I don't even know what to expect. I mean, I could completely fuck it up, and they'd be like, nah, I don't think this is for you, man. I'm gonna be like, oh. But you know, you gotta keep your hopes up high, keep your head down low, right? That's exactly what I've been doing. I've just been following basically what people, you know, been wanting me to do. I mean, it's from CDL school to the DMV to this place, you know. I've just been like, yeah, I'll do it, you know. I mean, like I said, I just hope, you know, come time for me to get keys, and they're like, okay, go do it. I can actually do it and not fuck up. It's pretty straightforward, you know, honestly, it really is. But you know, it's my first, you know, actual like truck job, so everything that I know and everything that I've done so far has been fucking nuts. Wyoming was pretty. That was a pretty area. Jackson, Wyoming, we went out to. Hauled some metal. Yeah, I mean, a lot of different places I've been to. Salt Lake City, that was Idaho Falls. God, we were in Idaho for a long time. Forever. forever, it seemed like. I mean, it just seemed like every time I turned around and looked at the GPS, it said Idaho, and I was like, fucking great. Idaho again, you know, Dead Man's Pass, you know, son of a bitch. They got some pretty hardcore fucking grades in there, you know, like there's one that just like does switchbacks and it's all downhill, you know, and you're just like, holy shit. You know, you pick up speed, you know, you get to a point where it's like, you know, you're tired of going slow. You know, you just want to get down the fucking mountain. But you don't want to dump your load or anything, you know, you don't want to break shit, you know, you just want to get down the mountain. You know, you're tired of sitting there fucking with, you know, 11 gear, 12 gear, you know, you get down in that corner, you start getting in there and you have to drop it down, and then as you're coming out of it, you got to ramp it back up, so you got to downshift a little bit more to gain back that RPM so you can pick up your speed a little. I mean, it's exhausting. So, I mean, you really just try to just find one gear and just stick with it, and if that means you got to go a little faster than what your heart believes, then, you know, just be mindful of the characteristic of your truck and how it's performing and handling while you're going through that corner. You got to do it, you know. I mean, I have confidence in myself to do it. I know what to do, you know. Once I get to that point, you know, and they give me the keys and I'm walking out there, you know, and I get on the Qualcomm, I get set up. There's a load on there, you know. I know the button to push. I know, you know, the load, you know. You know, I know how to plug in the GPS, fuel stops, you know, fuel solution, rest areas, you know. I mean, until you get to where you're going for your pickup, right? You pick up, you go talk to the shipper. They give you, typically they give you a little piece of paper or something like that with all the bullshit that you're holding on to. You gotta watch your weights, drop your tag, put your pusher down just to make sure that you're scaled and weighed correctly, and then you know, you send your departure, and then you drive. Sometimes you're driving for seemingly ever. Your neck starts to hurt, your arms kind of start to hurt, you know, you start feeling shit that you've probably never felt before. It'll pass, you know, believe me, with enough Tylenol and patience and time and repetition, eventually your body will adjust, and you won't feel like you're falling the fuck apart. My first few weeks, yeah, I felt like I was falling apart. My joints hurt. My left arm screamed at me every time I went to use it, but I never said anything. I've bruised my hand. I've gotten blisters on my feet and on my hands. You know, we ran hard. That's no lie. We ran real hard. And, you know, your body adjusts after a while. It really, really does. Let's see. What I took. So yeah, I took a week's worth of clothes. I took like tuna packets. Canned chicken is a big one. That, I mean, it smells kind of weird, but it is so good. Like, you go to Walmart, they got like a 5-pack for like $7 or $8. That shit is money. You take that and that's like your dinner, right? So you go into sleeper berth and you just have that real quick, and you know, you're good. You know, that's what I did. I ate like once a day. You know, I mean, in the mornings I might eat something, but, you know, typically, you know, as soon as the shipper or the receiver was open, you know, I'd be out there undoing straps and all that type of nonsense, and then I'd get on down the road to the next joint. So yeah, typically I didn't eat until the end of the day. That's the honest to God truth. You know, at the end of the day, I'd have my can of chicken and maybe something else, you know, but that's really it. But yeah, black and light. So that was about it. That's about what I took, and you know, that got me through 4 weeks. I did go home at one point for a night or so. But yeah, last 2 weeks I've been out. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I am an open book, and I am free and available to answer any and all questions. So yeah, so far it's been a ride, but yes, I will talk with you guys on the next update. Peace.